Hello, everyone. My name is Ramana Lee Akiyama, and I am a Senior Program Officer in Network Engagement at Eisenhower Fellowships. And I wanted to set up this quick pre-recorded message about our iLabs to give you some guidance on what to expect leading up to, during, and after the sessions in Malaga. We're very much looking forward to seeing you in a few short weeks. So first of all, I just also wanted to thank you for being part of this brand new initiative that we're piloting. iLabs are completely new to EF and something that we wanted to try this year, specifically during our conference. And some of the background on how the idea came to be and why we're doing it is this. So in thinking through and planning for the Future of Work conference, we thought about the traditional elements of a conference. You have plenary, panels, presentations, speakers, and a lot of talking. And we really wanted to provide a forum that would help us as an organization and a community hone in on solutions and ideas that were being driven by our fellows that were going to have real world impact on the future of work challenges that are cropping up all over the globe. We didn't want our conference participants to just come and listen. We wanted to also provide an opportunity for collaboration and engagement to happen within our network. Thus, the iLabs were formed. So thank you for being part of it. I'm just trying to advance the slides. Okay, there we go. So just briefly about our logistics for the sessions, we are excited that we have 18 projects that we're going to be highlighting as part of our iLabs. We'll be running 2 different parts to the sessions, so one in the morning and one in the afternoon on Saturday, September 16th. There will be a total of 10 sessions, which means that some of you, if you're a presenter, will be sharing a session with another fellow. So the general idea, again, is to have a conversation with the participants. So if you're a presenter, aim to share your project information in 15 minutes, and then plan to engage with participants through question and answer, brainstorming, generative discussion for another 30 minutes. So the total session is an hour and a half. And if there are 2 of you, we're just asking that you share the time equally. So again, we just want to encourage discussion and engagement, and therefore discourage the use of PowerPoint presentations as the focus for your talk or the centerpiece for your talk. This fall, something also that is new to us and that we're very excited about is the launching of our database, which is being powered by Salesforce. Some of you may be familiar with Salesforce. It's a very popular CRM system, and we're going to be adopting that as an organization. So once you get to the conference, you'll see that Salesforce has been involved in supporting our organization. And specifically, our goal for the conference in iLabs is to start to utilize their social media platform called Communities to be the space for some of this collaboration around the iLabs to happen through online dialogue and virtual collaboration. So during and in advance of the sessions, participants will be able to access information related to your project if you're a presenter on a special communities page designed for each project. On this page, we can upload your slides, photos, images, articles, videos, materials, anything that relates to your project that will help the participants understand what it is you're trying to communicate. And then during the session, participants will be able to access it on their phones and other devices, iPads, laptops, etc. So we're actively welcoming the use of technology in all iLab sessions to enhance collaboration. So if you want to, again, refer back to your slide deck, the participants will be able to access it by pulling it up on their devices in real time during the iLabs. So I say all of this to let you know that if you're interested in providing these materials to us, please send them to specifically to me, to Romana, by August 17th. If you have any questions, feel free to follow up with me directly about that. So as far as AV needs for the room, some of the breakout rooms will have monitors and screens, but others may not. So if you have a special request and absolutely need a screen, please get in touch with me as soon as possible so that we can reserve one for you. So presentation framework, again, you will have 15 minutes per presenter if you are sharing a session. And again, just want to encourage you to be clear and succinct and to highlight some of these questions on this slide in your presentation. So what is your project? Really focusing on concrete outcomes. Do your best to briefly describe the problem that you're trying to address. Who is your target audience? And this is important here. So if your project is already in existence, what are your plans to scale it or to expand it or to take it to another region? And what are some of the needs that you have around that? If your project is a brand new idea, what do you need in order to successfully implement it? Obviously, funding may be a need, but beyond funding, what else can you think about? Really utilize this time that you have with conference participants to help you get to the best idea possible. We want this to be a mutually beneficial session. So not only are the participants going to benefit by listening to your idea and possibly taking that back to their home country or their regions and replicating it, or perhaps partnering with you on how you implement and roll out your project. We really want you to be able to walk away saying that this session was worth it. I thought about this in a new way. I have this person that I can call on. I know this person is doing this work that's very similar to me in another country. I can call on them for help in the future. So again, we really want this to be a productive and two-way conversation. And really be specific and concrete with your project outcomes and what your asks are from the group. Okay, but this particular slide, I think I just went over it, so I will keep going. Okay, criteria for evaluation. So the initial idea for the iLabs was to award prizes for the top 3 projects that will be presented. And to that end, we will be asking all who participate in the iLab sessions to help us rate the projects based on the following 3 simple criteria. So feasibility or scalability. So this goes back to feasibility. If your idea is brand new, has not been implemented yet, what is the likelihood that this project is going to come to fruition? On the other side of that, scalability. So if your project already is in existence, your plans to grow it, to enhance your impact, to take it to an even larger audience, whether it be regionally, internationally, to scale it, to really grow it and to reach more people through this model. So that's the first criteria. So either feasibility or scalability. The second criteria for evaluation is the potential impact. And this is, in just most simple terms, the ability to change a community, region, industry, workforce. What do we think the impact will be? How great do we think the impact of your project or idea will be? And then lastly, creativity, the uniqueness or resourcefulness of the idea, the innovation really behind the idea. So on the final conference day, which is Sunday, September 17th, we will be asking the presenters from the top 3 projects to come and share their idea or project with the full audience. And this will be fantastic because it gives you an opportunity to be in front of the entire group. And at this point, we have about 270 people registered. From all different countries. We have over 40 countries registered and people from all different sectors and industries. And it will be a phenomenal opportunity to have you present your idea to this very diverse and dynamic group of leaders that will be able to help you in some concrete way with this idea. So how are we going to determine the top 3 projects? During the session, like I mentioned, we will be using technology. We'll be using the Salesforce communities. And Salesforce has the capacity to poll, to get a poll going during the sessions. And so during the session, after the session, we will be encouraging the participants who are in the session to simply rate what they heard in the session and on this project based on these 3 criteria. So again, going back to the 3 criteria I just reviewed: feasibility, scalability, impact, and creativity. And then in addition, we're going to be gauging social media activity and interest on the projects. So everyone at the conference will technically have access to each one of the projects because they will all be put up on the Salesforce communities, and we'll be actively encouraging all participants at the conference to go on there, take a look, weigh in, ask questions, tag people who might be interested. So we'll be looking at overall social media activity around the projects and also the polling results to help us come to the decision of which 3 projects we will be asking to present on Sunday. So if you haven't made your plane reservations yet, you definitely want to be able to stay for that first part on Sunday morning. And then because the voting will be happening on Saturday into the evening, a member of the EF staff, likely it will be me, Romana, will contact you on Saturday night to let you know that you've been asked to participate the following morning. So you definitely want to be prepared for that. Okay, so the next part is for moderators. So each moderator, and if you're a presenter, thanks so much for listening, and you definitely might want to keep listening in so that you understand that there will be a moderator to help you during the session. So the moderator, thank you so much for volunteering for this important role. And your role will be to connect with the presenters in advance of the iLab session. So you may do this either before you get to the conference or on site at the conference. So we have set up space. We will have set aside space and time on the first day, which is Thursday, September 14th, the day that most people are arriving, between 2:30 and 4:30 p.m. in the speaker's lounge at the hotel. So this is a time block that we have for you. And so please feel free to arrange to meet during a time within this block that works for you, moderator, so that you can connect with the two presenters that you will be working with during that session. And currently all of the iLabs and when they are going to happen is on our conference website. So you can also feel free to take a look at that. I will be sending out that link to you as well. So moderators, you want to think about the questions that will help facilitate the discussion. Become familiar with the topics generally. You can do some light research online about the speakers and their ideas. You can, again, talk with them beforehand or at the conference to help you generate some ideas for questions. And if you need help with the questions, you can always refer back to slide 4 of this presentation, which again has a general outline for what we hope that presenters will share. And if anything is unclear, you can always go back and ask some of these questions to help draw out the information during the session. And then logistically, prior to the session, you just want to become familiar with the location of your room assignment. And you can always ask staff for help, and I will be on site to help coordinate all of this. So again, during the session, you want to keep an eye on the time to make sure that as closely as possible, you start on time and also conclude the session on time. So at the start of the session, you can encourage participants to pull up the EF Salesforce community page on their device so that they can look at the materials and slides. So you want to leave time for that technology to be put in place. And you can even start asking questions on the communities page, or you can have them go ahead and ask questions on the communities page during the session, any questions that come to their mind. And again, an EF staff member will be present in the room to assist. So when you start the presentation with the iLab presenters, you can ask each speaker to introduce themselves in 1 minute or less. And then you can allow 15 minutes to presenter one, followed by 30 minutes of discussion. And then allow 15 minutes to presenter two, 30 minutes of discussion. So it is going to be monitoring the time. And if you need support with that, the staff member who is present can help. So alternatively, if the projects being presented are closely aligned and you think that a really great fruitful discussion could happen collectively with the group, you may even decide to allow presenter 1 15 minutes to talk, and then presenter 2 to talk immediately after that, and then follow with an integrated Q&A discussion with both projects being discussed. It really, really depends on the projects that are presented. So then at the conclusion of the session, this is most important, you want to remind participants to continue to engage online on the EF communities page. You want them to submit their questions, tag fellows who were not able to be in the room that might be interested in the project, or other conference participants, and then to submit their feedback, their polling feedback via the Salesforce communities page. So that's the most important thing that will really help us set up for announcing the 3 finalists for Sunday morning. So that's all for presenters and moderators. And so again, staff will be present and they will be there to help take notes, to help with the technology and any other logistical needs that you may have. So thank you so much for listening. And again, please feel free to reach out to me. You will all have my email address by the time you finish listening to this recorded webinar. I'll be emailing that out to all of you. I really, really look forward to seeing you in Spain in just a few weeks. And I know that it is going to be a fantastic time, and we look forward to seeing what comes out of this conference. Thank you so much. And again, feel free to be in touch. Bye. Take care.